Hi, I'm Richard Risk. We're continuing to talk about frequently asked questions. A question I get a lot about is, well, they have to do with jury selection. Nobody really understands how juries are picked. It is clouded in mystery, intrigue. Well, it's like making sausage. Anyway, you know, it's called, there's a French word for it, a Latin word for it. It's called voir dire. And essentially you get a pool of people who are eligible to be jurors, and there's this pool of people fill up the jury room. And both attorneys get to ask the jury pool questions. Now, the questions that are asked are really designed to identify those jurors who are potentially unfavorable to the person the attorney is asking the question. A better name for jury selection should really be jury deselection. You want to identify those jurors who really can't ever see things fairly for your client. You want to let them know that it's okay. It's okay to be real. It's okay to not like everything. You want them to encourage, to speak out about the things that they really don't like about your case, and maybe your client or maybe your attorney. It's kind of weird. It's weird because, you go into trial and raring to go to put on this case, and you start the whole thing out getting the jury to talk about the things they don't like about your case. It's almost like you're trying the other guy's case, and it seems weird for clients to sit there and listen to their attorney as potential jurors about what they don't like about the client's case. But it's necessary, because you don't want to find out what they don't like about your case when the verdict comes out. You want to know about it earlier. And I try to make it an informal process. I try to make it so that the jurors feel free to talk freely about themselves, and I do so in a non-judgmental way. And and let's face it, not every trial is right for every person. Some people have some things that happen in their life that are so significant that they can't just brush them aside. There's something that's called confirmation bias. I used to think that when you're on the jury, you're going to say, well, on the one hand, this, and on the other hand, that. And then you're going to weigh it like the scales of justice and come to a conclusion. But I've learned that's not how jurors work. The jurors, how they really work usually is they're saying, well, I know my cousin who had a similar situation, and when he had this similar situation, that's what happened. Or I know that I went through a situation like this, that, or the other, and that's what happened. So they plug in the facts of a particular case to their own experience. It's not just the jury out there. We all do this. We all do this. It's part of human nature. But understanding how jurors come to conclusion is important to jury selection, and I really do think that jury selection is the most important part of trial, because you got to get the people who see things your client's way and can relate to your client. You got to get those people on the jury, and you got to get the people who are unkind, and especially the leaders who can influence other members of the jury. You got to get those people off the jury as soon as possible, and as painlessly as possible, and as cleanly as possible. It's really quite a trick, but with the right jury, things will go fine.